Hi, my name is Cecilia Salinas, and I'm gonna talk about a conflict between two countries that these are Russia and Ukraine. And I'm gonna explain to you how this started, the effects in the countries and the people, and all the consequences. So I'm gonna start with the explanation of how this started. So this conflict that I'm gonna talk about is between Russia and Ukraine. Is one of the most important conflicts in the recent years. It has political, historical, and military causes. So we're gonna talk about every cause that I just said. So this conflict started on 2022 when Russia launched a large-scale invasion of Ukraine. So the first country that we see here starting this problem was Russia. And then the second in this phase was Ukraine. However, the conflict actually started in 2014 for another reasons. But when the conflict and the war started, it was exactly on 2022. All this started because Ukraine was and became an independent country in 1991 after the Soviet Union ended. Since then, Ukraine has tried to build stronger relationship with European countries. But Russia believes that Ukraine is very important for the security in Russia and the influence in this region. So now I'm gonna start talking about how this conflict started. So I was saying that the whole thing really happened to the international public eye in 2022, but this just started in 2014. This was when many Ukrainians protested against their own government. After the protests, the president left the country. Soon after, Russia took control of Crimea, a region that had been part of Ukraine, and most countries do not recognize this action as legal. At the same time this was happening, fighting started in eastern Ukraine, especially in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Russian-backed separatist groups fought against the Ukraine army. Even though peace agreements were signed, the fighting still continued. Now, centering in the invasion in 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine with thousands of soldiers, tanks, and missiles. So this was considered as something like if they were starting some war in the country without any permission. So Russia said that it wanted to protect people in eastern Ukraine and stop Ukraine from joining NATO. So NATO is a military alliance made up of many countries in Europe and North America. So they didn't want that because that will make Russia less interested with the relationship that they wanted to have with Ukraine. So Ukraine and many other countries said that the invasion was against international law and violated Ukraine's independence. So for my point of view, this is right because there's a thing called no intervention with all the countries around the world. So these have to be respected because it's a law, and also the country of Russia violated all the human rights that people have in Ukraine. They didn't care about that, and they just wanted to advocate the whole country for themselves. We can see that The war caused many serious problems, like thousands of people that died or have been injured. Millions of people have left their homes and become refugees. So we can see a lot of immigrants from Ukraine around the world. Mostly they are just looking for asylum. So the whole displacement for the people there is something really impressive for all the international eye. So families have been separated and many people have lost their homes and jobs. This is showing us a global impact. The war has affected many countries around the world, not only from Ukraine or from Russia. It's also all around the world because both countries are necessary for all the world in so many ways. For trading, for political reasons, geographic reasons. So these two countries being in constantly a war, it's not good for the other countries in the world. And the war is still continuing. Both countries have had peace talks, but they have not reached a permanent agreement. Fighting continues in different parts of Ukraine. And in a conclusion, we can just say that Russia-Ukraine conflict has changed lives of millions of people. It has also affected the world economy, international politics, and global security. Many countries continue to support peace efforts and hope that the conflict will end through the diplomacy. So all we can hope about this problem is to be treated in the UN, and so all the countries can help to end this war, to end the fight between these two countries and respect their own human rights, because people in Ukraine does not have the full about what is happening. So diplomacy is key on this topic, and they should just make it to the end of this conflict.